did like the 3, 2, 1 thing. Where's my spoon? Let me see. Oh, I had another down. Can y'all hear me? Welcome in, welcome in. Hello. Hi, Brenda. They said they was gonna come back in. We'll see. If everybody come back in, we can continue our little chat, little farm chat. Hi, Mama Showers. How are you? Congratulations. Hi, Maria. Brenda, so selfless. Cheryl. Shamika again. Hi, Charmaine. I didn't want nothing. This is just like the continuance of the first live. Oh, we was talking about farms and growing our own food. But we can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. All right, let me see. Okay, so look, I don't know if y'all saw in the last live. So this is like the mango one. It's like a faux mango shell, and then the ice cream in the middle, or the sherbet is mango. And then the other one I had was pineapple. So this is like the little shell that come in. They're so good. I used to get them all the time, and then they got these new tropical flavors recently. Mama Showers. Okay, so I was gonna make some the other day, but then I got scared because I was like, I don't remember exactly like how we did it because it was so long since I had made some. So I was like, I'm gonna have to wait and call you again and do a walkthrough one more time because I don't want to mess them up. And my baby liked them, but you know they wasn't yours, so mine wasn't better than yours. He still liked yours, and he was like, "We need to get some more jam." Y'all, I had Mama Showers had made us breakfast. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And then she taught me how to make her biscuits from scratch. So good. But before we left, she gave us like some jars of homemade jelly, and my baby been wanting some ever since. Hi, Krista. I came back on my phone since I got more battery because my son's phone was about to die. Just for the people that was still up and wanted to chit chat a little bit more. Hi, Miss Jana. Were you able to get on the other one? Congratulations on your certificate. I didn't have your phone number, Miss Jana, but I did. I think that we got your email. So hopefully, Kiana or Chosen can get your certificate for you from the awards. It was a lot happening. I was trying to make sure that that everybody on YouTube would be able to at least see the screen good from the laptop. Yes, congratulations to all the winners. Um, Dang. If I would have known I was going to go back live, I probably would have had a game or something ready for y'all. I don't have nothing ready. Even though I've been wanting to play some games. I should have had somebody go live with me to be more entertaining. But that ain't really my specialty. Hi, Sherika. I hope I'm not hogging up no time for anybody else that was gonna go live to actually do something. Cause the only thing I'm working is this spoon. Spoon and ice cream. Yes, it is. So I have a spectacular tubers. Spectacular tubers. What is that? Yes, ma'am, Miss Nicole. What is that, Maria? Hi, Miss Sonia. Spectacular tubers. I mean, I wouldn't even know honestly what they have out here, Maria, because this is not my like home state. I'm just stationed out here temporarily, um, and I haven't. The way the state is set up, it's not. It's different. Every state is different, but things are not like in your face. They sell baked potatoes with toppings, and they're giant. That's where you got your baked potato from, and it's called Super Tubers, Spectacular Tubers. No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. Who did I miss? I miss Dorothy. Hi, Dorothy. Yeah, I haven't seen that, but yeah, because I think it's because at one point in time, I think like the DMV area must have been like just forest. Maybe the whole country was forest. I don't know, but it definitely seems like it was forest here because there's forest all around, or marsh, or whatever you want to call it. Um, I don't even know how to explain the layout of the way things are here. But you know how like some states or cities or whatever are built to where you have like a residential area, and then, you know, 10 minutes out or whatever, you find like the nearest like shopping areas and things like that. Oh, they did, Rachel. I had started up a new one. Everybody left. I started up a new one because my son's battery was gone. But yeah, so then like you can walk, from like your house to the corner store if you wanted to, or you can drive from your house to the corner store. But in that corner store, it'll be like a shopping center, and you'd have like Vons or Safeway or Albertsons or Ralph's or Giant or Food Lion or Publix or whatever, HEB, whatever the grocery store is. And then you have other little stores around too, like a Dollar Tree or a Hobby Lobby or a Marshall's or, whatever. It's different in Maryland. The Hand Dancers channel out of Maryland. Hand Dancers? I don't know. I have never heard of that. I hope. But yeah, it's different. Like in Maryland, it's like you drive down a highway, sort of a highway, and then on one side of the highway, you'll have a forest. In the middle of the highway, you have like stores and things you can go into that are literally like on your left hand side. And then on the other side of the highway is the cars that are going the opposite way. And then there's forest. And every now and then in the middle of the forest, it'll be like a shopping center. I can't even explain it. I'm going to have to draw it one day on live. It's just very different. But it feels very, I'm sure it feels very like familiar to the people that are from here. In California, it's like the highways are the highways. There's nothing on the highways but the highways. And you exit off the highways to go to wherever you need to go. But once you exit off the highways, you'll have residential areas and you'll have like shopping areas. and it's very convenient. And then when you get back on the highway, from the highway, you can see like off the different exits where all the different things are. And you can just get off on that exit and go to that thing. But in the DMV, like it's almost like you're driving blind until you get there. And if you mess up, then it's a long way to get make a U-turn or whatever to come back. I don't know. Is the volume low? Let me see. Is that better? Is that better, Classy? Yeah, I don't know. Stays in Baltimore. This thing was yeah, and yeah, it's very different. Um, it's very different. And for some people, it's easy. It's not easy for me. And then, like, say for example, public transportation. Like, there's no public transportation where I am. So if you don't have a car, like, you, there's no way other than like a lift, right, to get from point A to point B. Which I mean, is fine since I'm not taking public transportation. But just imagine, if you end up having to take public transportation, it's just not accessible. Though I think they have it like in Baltimore, like in the city of Baltimore, and they have it like in DC, and there are trains too. There are trains, but you got to live like by the trains, in order for them to be accessible to you, or drive, I guess, maybe to the trains, and hopefully they get you, from point A to point B. Hi, Miss Lillian. Hi, Vonnie. It goes up and then it goes back down. Okay, I have it all the way up now. Is it because I'm talking too soft? Um, yeah. I mean, there's public transportation, but it's only in certain areas. It's only in certain areas. Um, so, and I'm not like all that fond, I guess, of public transportation. I mean, I think it should be available though for the people that need it. And just, ooh, so I haven't been there. I want to go there because my mom graduated from Hampton several years ago, and I wanted to get her some like hoodies and stuff like that, and send it to her in California. But I haven't been there. I haven't been there yet to see like what it's like. And I have a cousin that's at Norfolk State, a little cousin. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, yep. A lot of military bases over there. Yep. Oh, where are my AirPods? I don't know where my AirPods are. Maybe that'll make it easier. If they charge, then I could probably do that. Oh, okay, Hope. Oh, you Hope you talking to Miss Lillian? I am eating a mango ice cream. Hello, S. Marie. Yes, I'm eating a mango ice cream. I'm in the Air Force. Hi, Miss Jana. I was in the Navy for 6.5 months, maybe 7 months, and then I switched to the Air Force. So I did boot camp and all that stuff in the Air Force, and been there ever since. 21 and a half years. And I go back and forth from the Air Force to the city of Los Angeles. Oh, he was Navy. Okay, okay. That's what's up. Yeah, it's real good. Okay, okay, okay. I look young. My oldest son was in the Air Force for 5 years, and he got out and worked as a civilian for a couple of years. Well, how old do I look? I don't feel like I look young. am medically retiring, so I wasn't planning on retiring, but because of my health, it's kind of like gonna be a forced retirement. So I'm going through that process now. Daughter is Air Force, cousin is Navy. Oh, I forgot you had military folks. That's Marie. My oldest son is 28. My youngest son is 15. 48. Oh, I wish. Vonnie, quit playing. Thank you, Miss Sonia. You missed the award show. I live streamed it. I live streamed it so you can see it on the live. It's uploaded. I mean, well, it's uploading now, so it should be available pretty soon. Oh, thank you for your support. Yeah, my sister is in also. She's been in for 21 and a half years too. Mm. If I was in my 30s right now, late 20s, oh my. These kids got it made. Norfolk Navy base along with the other bases. Okay. And Langley is right there. Dang. I've had people stationed at Langley. Y'all retired in Norfolk? Yeah, see, my cousin took six. So my cousin, my little cousin, the one that's at Norfolk State, I think he graduates this year too. He, a couple of years ago, he took the train. He took like an Amtrak, and I picked him up. He took Amtrak all the way out here and stayed with me for like Thanksgiving week. Ooh, watermelon. So where do you get some watermelon from? So watermelon, is that on the good list? That's not on the recall list? You too, Ms. Nicole. Have a blessed day as well. Ooh, Hope. Speaking of watermelon, did y'all see that there's a TikTok? Is it TikTok or YouTube? Well, anyway, they put the watermelon in the freezer, and then they take it's like cut in half or whatever. Then they take the watermelon out and like start scooping it, right? And they make like a little hole in the watermelon because they scooping out the fruit, and then they poured like milk in there and made watermelon ice cream just based off of how cold the watermelon is, and they mixed it up, and it was all nice and smooth. I was like, I want to try that. She got an honorable discharge due to a neck injury. She wanted to be a chef, just like her dad. Aww. She had an opportunity to go to the Pentagon, but she had already left. Aww. I'm sorry, Miss Alicia. Watermelon should be safe. Okay. I've seen the apples being frozen, thawed, and then squeezed. Okay, okay. Hmm. Wow. I didn't even think of the apples, but look, even if they're frozen and thawed, once they're thawed out, are they soft enough to squeeze with your hand, or just they put them in a machine like a juicer or something and press the apples? Oh my goodness, Jana. I was just talking about the produce in California, like versus in Maryland, and like how it's almost like you can find anybody that has a tree. Avocados, pomegranates, lemons, figs, loquats, kumquats, like oh my god, peaches, anything. Like in LA, everybody got some kind of tree, if not two or three trees in their backyards. So it like the produce is not as expensive as it is out here. Because I was telling them like out here you can get 4 lemons and pay $7.99 for a bag of lemons, and they don't even squeeze out enough juice. Hi, Elbowy. Yes, we just in here chit chatting about food and produce and the forest and farms and growing our own food. Just all kind of miscellaneous stuff. Yeah, I remember. I remember my kids getting in trouble for them walking to school and picking somebody's pomegranates. A lot of neighbors don't mind, but every now and then you find people that do mind. They walk in school or from school and they picking the fruit because it's hanging over. Has it gone up that much though out there, Jana? I had my mom send me some lemons from out there through the post. Hi, sweetie. A lot of farms in Arkansas. My mother is from Cleveland, Ohio. Alicia. She went to Hampton and graduated and just applied to all graduate schools in California because we had family in California and she wanted to be far away from the snow as possible. So that's how me and my sister were born in California. Been here since 96 after leaving. You left Long Beach. Huh. My mother got her master's at Long Beach State, and then I graduated from Long Beach State. I graduated from high school in 96 though. So wait, you left Long Beach to go to VA because of the military though? So blessed. Oh, and Target, Jana. Okay, I get it. I get it. Hi, Sandra Lightner. How are you? Who did I miss? Hi, Essence. Hi, Monique. Plan to go visit next year. You haven't been home in 11 years. Okay, okay. Yeah, my mom. When's the last time my mom went? My grandmother passed in 2001 before 9/11. So I think that's the last time my mom went to Cleveland. I think that's the last time we were out there. Well, no, I've been out there a few times since then. I've been to Mansfield, Cleveland, Shaker Heights. They grew up in Shaker Heights. Lorraine, Akron, with shredded frozen watermelon. Ooh, mmm, that sounds real good. Um, I'm temporarily out of California because I'm stationed in DMV area, but I will be back in California. Um, probably after I get out of the military. That's where my people, most of them are in California still. I just been out here for a few years. Butter pecan ice cream. I like the taste of butter pecan ice cream, but I don't like the stuff in there. Like I always wondered, like how they make like butter pecan or they make like pralines and cream, like the different kinds of ice cream that have like peanuts or nuts or whatever in there. I want the flavor without all the stuff in there. That's probably weird. 21 and a half years. Okay, okay. Thank you for your service. Yep, 21 and a half years. Um, yeah, I joined the Air National Guard, so I was working for the city of Los Angeles for 2 years before I joined. Well, actually, when I joined the Navy. I was working for the city, and then I joined the Navy Reserves, and then I ended up switching over to the Air National Guard. So I basically would just go back and forth between the city of LA and the Air Force when they put me on active duty orders for 20, it'd be 20, 23 years for the city and 21 years for the Air Force. It's hot where you are, Jeanette. It's been in the triple digits out here for like 3 weeks to a month, seemed like. And then this week, it's finally starting to cool off a little bit. Oh, okay. I worked with the Army National Guard quite a few times on like different missions and operations. Minot, North Dakota. Ooh, it's freezing up there. Why not Minot? Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, there. I've heard so many stories about Minot, especially from like the security forces, because they go out there to guard the because of their mission. Mm, mm, mm. Yes, it was hot as I don't know what. I was like, I don't know what's going on with this weather. Oh, I hope it cools down for you. Did I miss anybody that came in here? Oh, yes, I hope it cools down for you because I stay in the house when it's that hot. The only place I'm going to is the doctor's. That's it. I don't have no doctor's appointment. I'm not going out. Hi, Pamela. Buttercup. Regarding ice cream, they have the butter pecan flavor, but without the nuts. Have you tried marble slab? No, what is that? Is that like the brand of ice cream? Like there's Briars and then there's marble slab, or like where would I get that from? Oh, that would be awesome. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because otherwise, if I just if somebody has it, I remember like my grandmother liked both of those, and like so if she had it, then it was like I would get some, and then I was always like trying to take out the little pieces of whatever on the side. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Um, Let me look up. How I miss the whole comment? Oh, okay. He was in the Navy. Oh, okay. USS Cole in Mississippi, and they sent the ship here. Wow. University Heights. Where is that, Alicia? That's in Ohio also? That's near Shaker Heights? Mm-mm-mm. And you just never went back to Long Beach? It ain't no way. I've tried. Like, I can't get... I like North Carolina. I like Tennessee. I like Knoxville. I like Florida, but not to live there. I like Louisiana, too. Mississippi, It was very, very humid when I was in Mississippi, but I was there for a few months. But I feel like I need like an ocean. It's a suburb in Cleveland on the east side. Okay. Homemade butter pecan ice cream. Can you make it homemade without the nuts? So you just get the flavor of it? 91 with a heat index of 102. You like Missouri, Katrina? Have I been to Missouri? I don't think that I've been to Missouri other than like, like a layover. but I don't think I've actually like. I don't have any memories of that. Um, yeah, it's hard like growing up with the beach like just right there and being able to go whenever you want and then going to I mean there's beaches over here. I've been to Rehoboth Beach over here, which is like Delaware. But it's not the same and it's super cold. The Atlantic Ocean is cold and I don't know if it has any waves. I don't remember seeing any waves. It's just different. Um, yeah, no, I don't think I've been to Missouri. I'm still thinking about this marble slab. Let me see. I've never heard of it or seen it. Hey, this phone is barely charging. It's on 6. I don't know how he does this long. He's not thinking about me. Okay, let's see. Schedule. Tuesday, you're scheduled to hit 100. The heat index is supposed to be 113 to 115. In Arkansas? Wow. There's been so much violence lately. Oh, in Missouri. Dang. What are y'all talking about shipping? Oh, some treats. Oh, we talking about shipping that homemade ice cream? I wouldn't even know how to start making butter pecan homemade ice cream. I like um I like that butterbeer ice cream that they have in Florida at Harry Potter's ice cream. That's good. Real good. I can't believe it's almost the end of July. I thought I missed something. I didn't miss nothing. I haven't had cotton candy ice cream. I've had cotton candy like pudding that I got from like Ollie's one time, but not ice cream. Really? Peanut butter ice cream. What it tastes like? Kind of like a Reese's without the chocolate. Oh man, I make sure next time I go to Sean's house, I get some cake. I'm gonna have to let her know ahead of time and send her a cash app. That cake be looking so good. I said, is it the TV? Is it the screen making the cake look so good? Is it just because I don't have none that it looks so good? Where's Crafty at too? I didn't see Crafty Leo earlier. I'm rude, huh? I'm just sitting here eating my mango ice cream. I can't entertain y'all like some of the others. cotton candy ice cream. Baby, you taste cotton candy ice cream? No. Briars. My 15-year-old also is diagnosed. Oh yeah, I had paid. I was supposed to be going to that birthday party, but my health wasn't having it. That in that military, so I didn't get to go. Hey, no, ain't no rush. You Charmaine went to go get something to eat, some cake to eat. Look, I'm not doing nothing but sitting here playing with the little this little ice cream. It's not even ice cream. It's more like a sherbet. It's real light. Good night, A Crenshaw. Have a great week. And I don't have no more. I'm like trying to scrape the shell. Yeah, so now we ain't talking about nothing but food and desserts and the heat. Yeah, it's hard. I'm praying for you. It's really frustrating. People don't understand how frustrating it is when your mind is telling you that you can do all the things that you could previously do, and your body is, what I'm saying the opposite, and you have no like control over it. It's really really frustrating. Oh wow, you at the store now this late? I'm talking about this late. If I was in LA, I'd be at the store this late too. Less people. Longhorn leftovers, that sound real nice. Real nice. Especially if you have enough left over for, a decent meal or snack. I hate when I eat out and then I eat most of it. I got to take some home. And I'm like, why didn't I just eat half of it? So that way when I eat my leftovers, it'll be good. And I won't be like, I wish I had some more. Yeah, it is tough. And it's crazy, yeah, especially if you can't control like your energy level or fatigue or whatever, because you can start doing something and then your body's like no, so you only got a little bit accomplished, and you like you can do more, or you want to do more, or you need to do more, but you can't. It is extremely frustrating, and also even like people don't understand, especially if like you look okay, and they just like okay, well just snap out of it and whatever. But it's like you push yourself and you'll end up in a worse position than you are already. And even if you do push yourself, it's still not the same as what you were used to prior to the condition. So it's different trying to get used to like what your parameters are right now and what you can do right now and how you can make that work for you. It's a process. It's a process. It's a process. We had a lot of people too that's been under the weather or attacked in some kind of way. Their body tripped out. I just pray for healing for everybody because nobody likes being feeling like you're a burden or feeling like you have the capacity that's less than. It's just I don't even know how to explain it. It's just crazy, especially when you did like all the right things. Yeah, it'll set you back, and it's crazy because when you don't know that, you like okay, well I can just do it. because that's what you do. And in the past, that's what you did. You pushed yourself, and typically, pushing yourself would make you stronger. Like, you building muscle and, yada yada. But now, when you have a chronic condition or some type of health condition that alters all of that, it ends up being a setback. And then now it takes you longer to recover. Um, and it's something that you don't really imagine happening. Like I said, if you were living your life like all reckless and stuff, then I could see it. But when you're doing all the things, you don't expect something to just happen, and then now you can't do all the things. Very, very weird. Mini stroke. Ugh. Did you lose like your capacity to move like certain muscles and stuff like that, Katrina? Like, do they have like someone coming to help you like rehab to gain strength back and like muscle memory and all of those things? My mom used to work with a lot of patients that suffer from strokes because she was a speech pathologist, and she would talk to us about that and do all kind of different exercises and things like that for people that had some type of aphasia or related to strokes. We had a lot of 911 dispatchers have strokes really early too, some years ago. Okay, okay, that's good. I'm so sorry that happened to you, but I am so happy that it was not worse. Mm-mm-mm. It's happening to a lot of women too, I think, because we are so used to pushing ourselves and doing all the things. Yeah. Doing all things, taking on everything, helping to solve everybody else's issues and problems because we know what's right for them. And then sometimes they don't even, appreciate it. But it's almost like we feel like it's our duty, like to help them have a better life or a better future or whatever. And it can backfire on us. It's hard not to do when you have a giving heart. Aww. So welcome. Hope or Katrina. Was it Monday? Last Monday. Talking about last Monday help. I think both of y'all was in the hospital at the same time. We love you, Katrina. And we love you too, Hope. Um, Hope says, Katrina, I have faith that you will continue to make a full recovery. Please take care of yourself. Last Monday. Okay, it was last Monday. So yeah, both of us like, oh my gosh, what is going on? That's very scary. Very, very scary. And I wonder if the heat played a role in any of that too. Cause it just seemed like it was so random for both of you.
Um, we all have to.
It's like we all say we're gonna practice self care, but we got to do a better job of it and understanding exactly what that means. Even self care means that we gotta rest or we gotta sleep.
Yep, yep.
Sonia Miss Sonia says, for everyone with any health condition or illness, God's blessings and speedy recovery. And Hope said, being a woman, we take on, we have to stop, we have to give ourselves permission to stop catching ourselves on fire to keep others warm. Yep. Mine is a genetic factor 5 clotting disorder. Okay. And they found that so that they like give you like Coumadin or like some type of thinner to help with that. Okay, oh, you already have a history, so it's already like in there that it's possible for it to happen again.
Wow.
I haven't heard of the factor 5. I have to look that up.
Miss Jana, you
Two.
hopefully you never have another one.
Okay, you was already on Coumadin. Okay, I remember my grandmother was on Coumadin.
And two of your nieces have it. The fact
Factor 5, elderly.
so do they test
For that, or is it the type of thing that you find out after you end up being sick? Like, is that something that women can ask to be tested for?
I hear you.
I hear you, Mr. Net.
I definitely wasn't.
I was 44, 45. Let me see, I'm 48 now. Yeah, I was 45 when all this stuff started happening. And it was just like lupus, and then one thing was just after another.
They test for it.
Oh my gosh, 7 mini strokes. Praise God, you survived all of that.
That's a good point. We have to learn.
That we can do all things through Christ, but it does not mean that we should do everything or have to do everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And understand exactly what that means to take care of ourselves and not feel, you know, a certain kind of way when we have to say no. I used to never ever say no. I learned my lesson though, because the same people that you might never say no to will be nowhere to be found when you need help.
Oh, okay. Katrina. Wow. Uh, okay. Same.
Oh, same here, Ever. Like, you used to have a hard time saying no. I used to always feel like if I can do it, almost like if I can do it, why not? And I think that I had that thought because I don't like being told no. Not like I can't accept no, but it's just like if you could do something. I didn't understand why people would say no when they were fully capable of saying yes. If it wasn't taking anything from them, whether it's a business, a job, a doctor, or whatever, right? And And so I just kind of made it like my duty, like if it was something that I could do to help someone, like why not? But I didn't realize that that way of being, and it probably stemmed like very early. Like I grew up kind of being codependent, like, so with my father and stuff like that. So I think that that personality was just kind of like a part of me, wanting, everything to be right for everyone, wanting it to be harmony for everyone. And if there was some kind of way that I could do it and I could make things nice or I could make things better, for someone or, for the whole of everybody, why not? But I didn't realize that that builds up over and over again. And eventually, there's nothing of you left for you because you've given out so much of yourself to everyone else. And then those same people, obviously, they forget, and it's crazy because you've done so much for them to get them, to a place where they can be. And there's no reciprocity, you know? And you don't think about it, especially if you don't need anything, right? But then what happens when that day comes where then, you do need and no one's even checking for you? No one's trying to, they're not trying to pay it back. They ain't trying to check for you to see, like, hey, you helped me all my life. Let me see, what I can do to help your life be better. Is there anything I can do in your life that, would, bring joy or happiness or some type of relief or whatever? Nope, none of that. So, my oldest son, though, he learned real quick. And I mean, I remember I used to think it was selfish to say no, but it's not selfish to preserve yourself.
It's not.
And I had to lose some people to realize that, okay, so be it. I had to lose some people. But those same people, they didn't have to get lost or lose, contact with me had they treated me just even remotely the way that I had treated them. But it's not in everyone. So it's like when we have a gift, to be empaths or, to care for other humans and like such a giving heart, we have to just really be careful and it has to be guided and we should probably, you know, speak to speak to God about things before we just say yes all the time. Because maybe what we're saying yes to and all the saving and fixing that we call ourselves trying to do, maybe we're taking away from the lesson that God may want that person to learn because we're saving and we're fixing and then wonder, what's up when we don't have because we've given so much of us.
Oh, wow.
I'm so behind in our comments. My bad. Okay, wait, let me see. Jana says my stroke was many, many years ago. The doctor said the next one might not survive. I think I had read that one. Um, Trina been on Coumadin. Okay, nieces have it. Health issues until you turn 50, right? Okay, your niece found out after her cancer diagnosis that she had the factor 5. Okay. And then Katrina says I had 7 mini strokes 8 years ago. And then this last one, and they did test for it. Okay, I read that. Then I read Hope. What Hope said, okay, Jen, as women, we have to learn to take care of ourselves first. Okay. Although I know this, I still fall short. Miss Jana said, yeah. It's hard because our hearts are just like that. And it's crazy because everybody doesn't have that. But some people do. So it's just, it's nice to, be in a community where you see that others are kind of like minded and you see they do. But at the same time, we have to remind ourselves and others that, you don't just give away all of your gifts. That's not how God wanted it to be. Um, Not in spite of yourself. At least I don't believe so. Donna said we women take care of everyone around us, but it's time we take care of our mental and our bodies. Yep. Miss Jeanette said it really kicked in after going through menopause. I would have been better with dealing with the monthly cycle. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The menopause, perimenopause is no joke. Nessa said yes. To God be the glory. We're still here, and that's worthy of praise. Yep.
Katrina said the power of prayer and
community love has shown and has been humbling. I'm so grateful for all of you. We're grateful for you too. Elbui said she's had 4 major surgeries in the last few years, which led her to be a patient at Duke. But she had no choice but to start telling people no and making and putting her health as a priority. Yep. Turning 50 has definitely brought on a lot of health issues. I'm 57, having 5 surgeries in the last 3 years, severe arthritis in my back and knees, as well as herniated discs in my back. Ooh, I pray that you are healed in Jesus' name. So blessed. I have herniated discs too, so I definitely understand that pain. God continues to give me strength every day. You know, but people will forget very quickly and will ignore you when you need help. Yep. Sonia said that sounds just like me right now. No one's around and willing to be around when I need them. Right. I'm praying for all. Hope. I had a brain tumor in 2000, a mass on the right kidney in 2008, a large pituitary tumor in 2001, my first stroke in 2013, the heart attack in 2014, several TIAs, and in 2016, a mini stroke in 2026. Whew, that's a lot. I'm dealing with the pituitary, with the brain tumor situation. Sedona says she feels the same way. Hope says God has truly been good to me. Yes, He has. Sarah says I have mixed connective tissue disease. Yep. Lupus is a part of it. Yep. Stress is a major trigger for strokes and other problems. I've had 2 strokes back in 2009. Had to learn to walk again. Ooh, that had to be hard, Sarah. That had to be hard. Yeah, they told me connective tissue disease and lupus. Um, it's so amazing to me too that with the way the health system is, right? Because they know a lot of these things lead to other problems that would be worse. So it's like, why not try to treat these and try to get down to the root cause of these when they're still in, their infancy or whatever before they progress to something even worse, because you know that they have a tendency to affect other organs. I'm glad that you learned how to walk again, but it makes me sad that you even had to go through that in the first place.
and yeah, it's
Not
not.
in everyone. Bonnie says, especially when it comes to the workforce and even family. Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, and that's crazy too, because at work, no matter where you work, it's almost as if someone has not experienced it themselves or have had a close family member or friend experience it, then they have nothing they can relate to. And because they can't relate to it, they're just indifferent towards it. Just which is so cruel to me, because there's a lot of things that I may not be able to relate to personally, but I still have empathy for the person that's going through it. I mean, all it takes to have empathy, just imagine if it was you or a person that you love. That's all you gotta do. Just imagine. You don't have to go through it personally, right, to be able to feel for that person. If you can't feel for the person as a human, imagine it was yourself, right, or someone you love going through what this person is telling you and act accordingly. What would you do for them? What type of, accommodations can you provide? What type of leniency can you provide? Because nobody enjoys being sick, or not being able to function or disabled. Like, that's not fun for anybody. Nobody likes to have to ask for any. I know I don't want to ask for nothing. If I could do everything without asking, and I'm pretty sure that's not how God made the world to be, right? We're supposed to be able to ask each other for things, and it's supposed to be a community thing. But because of, how you've been treated, based on experiences, different people have different levels of where they feel comfortable, like asking for help or whatever. And if they can just do it themselves, then I'm pretty sure they wouldn't ask. I don't want to have to ask anybody for anything. I want to be happy, joyful, and I want others around me to be happy and joyful. I don't like suffering. I understand it's a part of life. If there's a way that I could stop the suffering, I would stop the suffering. If there's something I could do to make someone's suffering a little bit less, I would probably try. And the fact that when you're at work, there are so many people that could care less to even try is so crazy to me. especially when you've put in so much time, at your place of employment or business or whatever, especially if you have a history of being like a compassionate person or an inspiring person or a person that's always trying to make sure everyone is okay. Like, but yeah, people, a lot of people just really only care about themselves and they don't have the capacity to put their, to step in someone else's shoes. And that's so crazy. Katrina said, I put my people on notice. I will no longer forget, repair, or matrix this family through life. They're on their own. Amazing how they can come together. And that's another thing, too. How many times have you witnessed, you helping someone, and when you finally cut it off, all of a sudden they're able to thrive? Like, this is what I've been trying to help you to get to all this time. You have to completely exhaust me, and now all of a sudden you good, you can do it on your own, or they go with somebody else and will thrive and or behave or treat, another person better than, they treated you, but you did all the work trying to help them to be, a better person or get on their feet or whatever. People are funny.
So blessed. Totally agree,
I
Drew.
don't know all you're saying. I focus on having my peace. Yeah. Janice says she agrees. As far as our grown babies go, we have to remember that they are God's children before they're ours. They'll continue to be fine. He has them. It's okay to let go and let God. Yep. Janice says, like Sarah's saying, stress plays a major factor. Yep. And we got to know how to recognize when we're stressed, because it's funny how when you've lived so many years of being the doer, the fixer, the helper, you don't even, sometimes like you don't even realize when you're overwhelmed, right? Or when your body is trying to give you hints that, this is too much. Um, oh, Miss Jeanette says Sarah also have connective tissue disorder. The skin flares up from the heat and the stress. Yep, that's why I stay inside. Fingers go numb during extreme cold weather or rain. Yep, yep. Hi, Ashley. Charlie says I have a phone tree of family and friends that live alone and we check on each other daily. That's really sweet. That's really nice. Let's see. Sarah Hope said, Sarah, I had to learn how to do everything all over again. So glad that you're doing well. Yeah. Sadana says the healthcare system knows they can make more money by having you come back and forth, right, to the doctor rather than just taking care of the problem up front. Yep. All these tests and oh, your labs are not this and your labs are not that. Or else your labs will be at the lowest point, but you're still within range. Okay, so if you're telling me that there are people that are operating within this range and they operate very well at the highest point, and that's like the optimal range, why would you be okay with me being over here on the lowest point just because it's within range? Because I'm not, operating at my optimal self because I don't have the optimal range. Why don't you do some type of treatment or whatever to get me within a higher range? Like, it don't make no sense. So true, driven. No one truly understands chronic pain unless they have had to deal with it themselves. Yep. Jeanette says, being the only child, I have to push my health issues aside to take care of my mom, who had a small stroke and is now in the early stages of dementia. Ooh, I'm so sorry. My dad had dementia and a few strokes before he passed. It's a lot of work being a caregiver. That's something else that people don't understand. Charlie says a lot of people lack empathy. Yep. The lack of empathy I see on a daily basis saddens me. God wants us to love others as we do ourselves. Yep. So that's yep. Just hope that facts it out, and we have to learn how to be our own advocate for our health and be persistent. Yeah, it's so draining. Look, I'm like, it's so draining that Vonnie says, yeah, energy vampires are real. That is draining too. So true. Hope says it's so hard when you want to help people in need. Yes, and when you want to see people just do well. Because you be thinking, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can just do this, if you can just do that, right? But it's like, that that ambition has to come from within. It's like we can't make anybody have that. And it takes a long time to learn that because sometimes you just think, okay, if I just say the right words, if I just do the right thing and just show them this or show them that, it'll be easier. Because you do want them to see, like, if you can just do this, your life can be easier. But everybody ain't able or don't want to. Charlie says prayers to Jeanette. Sends prayers to Jeanette. I'm a caretaker of Lee Baby 92 dementia. I'm glad my mother gave me a heart of compassion. Yeah, yep. Trina says I'm building my farm in baskets. It's my peace and my time. Oh yes, yes indeed. Like find something where that makes you happy without even having to think about it. Sarah says same here. I have to use oxygen now because of PAH. I stay prayed up and grateful to still be here. Yes, ma'am. Hi, the African Hut. Just scrolling and noticing the live. Oh, I'm glad you found it. This was like the after party chat from the gift basket awards. I had streamed the Zoom earlier so that people that didn't have the Zoom app or wasn't trying to go through all the changes of like the whole login and upload and download and all that stuff could still see like the award show. So that's on the other live, and then I just opened up another one for us to finish chit chatting. Um, Good evening, Miss Anita. And then Charlie is saying hey to African Hut. Monique is saying hey to Miss Anita. Sedona says it's hard when you're a full time caregiver and have a full time job. Whew, girl. Yep. People don't know. They don't even get it. And everybody have a comment of what you should be doing and what, how things should go, but they're not the ones helping. Like, great job, Katrina. Let me see. Oh, Miss Jeanette, Hope says you're in my prayers. That's a hard place to be in. Being a caretaker is one of the hardest jobs, especially when it's a loved one. Continued prayers. Miss Anita said, "How was the Basket Designers Award show? I wish I could have seen it." Yeah, it's on my It should be uploaded by now on my channel, so you can go back and see it. It was okay. It was really nice. Everybody like got their certificates, and a few people made speeches, and some people weren't able to attend because they already had prior engagements. So people accepted their certificates and stuff on their behalf. Let me see. Katrina said my pressure was so high, a lot of stress on top of disorder is not good. Yeah. Jeanette said also my mom had three sisters, one brother still loving, and none of them call or come over to check on her, offer her give me a break. We went through that with my dad. We went through that with my dad. Like me and my sister are both active duty military, and they all, you know, are in California. They're, living nearby. I'm all the way on the East Coast. My sister was in like Northern California at the time, and it's like there's so much that could have been done, so that he didn't get like as bad as he was. And then even once like he was in, um, when he was like in like the nursing home and stuff, it's just so much that could have been done, but instead they were like just busy blaming my sister and I and telling us like we need to leave our jobs and come down and this and that and the other. And it's like it's not like we on the average job where it's like okay just leave and go. We have to. We're trying to do the best that we can from afar and go when we can because we only have so much time that we can take. And we're trying to split it up between the two of us. It was just crazy. It was so crazy. Um, to see like all the siblings are there. And it was crazy too because it's like these are aunts and uncles that, like we grew up with. So to see like the treatment now, like how you're treating us and how like you're treating our dad, is just like wow, deuces. We took care of everything we need to take care of, and they're lost that they don't have us. But it sucks because it doesn't have to be that way. So blessed said, Sedona, so true. I was just at the doctor and was told I was healed, even though I told him that I was still having issues, and then woke up the next day and it's worse. Calling tomorrow to go back. Oh my gosh. Hi, Sandra. Sandra says hi to everyone, praying for everyone's strength, mental stability, health, finances, and love. Thank you. Monique is saying hello. Alicia is saying healing prayers and strength to all the caregivers. Um, Sedona is saying amen, hope. And Jeanette says, what's worse is your doctor doesn't listen to what you are telling them about your body, but will be quick to say it's part of the disease. Why is it? It's like, and it's so crazy because, like, I go in, like, Reddit forums a lot because I'm trying to get information here and there from everywhere, right? And Reddit has been really extremely helpful because you can just type in a certain condition and then they'll have a whole forum on that, and then people are asking questions, people are answering. They also have like MD medical doctor ones where you can ask doctors questions, but a lot of times doctors will come in and answer questions too on some of those. So it's really interesting how people can have these same experiences where it's like I'm telling them, these are the signs or these are the symptoms that I'm having. This doctor says no. I finally get to this doctor. This is the third cardiologist, and this doctor tells me this, and this, and also tells me I can try this and this and this, which is natural. Like, why do we have to get on social media and go on like Reddit to find just an alternative, form of care? When doctors like go to school for this, right? Nurses go to school for this, and like I have an appreciation. I've always had an appreciation for healthcare. That was like my first major before I started working for, like the police. Like, so it's disheartening to see what happens. And, I saw a lot with my dad, and everything before he passed. And then even more in like the last 3 years with just having to deal with these different diagnoses and these different symptoms. No one knows what's wrong, or they want to put everything all in one box. And it's really frustrating because we know our bodies best. So it's like if we're telling you this is going on, why not try to figure out how to help us, or try to figure out, what the root cause is of what's going on? Because people, for the most part, we might have some people that are hypochondriacs and, or just want attention. But for the most part, when you got grown working adults or retired adults that are coming to, to the doctor, they're not coming because it's a fun thing. They're coming because they actually have an issue and they need it to be dealt with. And no one is trying to waste their time or yours, to get care and, to regain health and function in their bodies. So yeah, I hear you on that. African Hustlers, thanks for the update, Driven. We'll go watch the award show. Okay. LB, it's not that easy to leave your job either. No, especially when you don't know how long you're gonna be. And especially like in this economy, it's different, if you have different insurances and all that, but there's so many different parameters. Everybody doesn't have insurance on every single parent. Everyone doesn't have, some people don't even have insurance on themselves, right? So some of us do. You have like the short-term disability, long-term disability, and or catastrophic care or whatever. But some people don't, or they don't have enough time like on their policy. Or if you're in the military, it's a whole nother ball game. And it's like y'all all retired. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all was able to come into this country because of my father. But now, his drinking issue or his whatever he owed you from 20 years ago or whatever, all the reasons that now you just decide to completely wash your hands and, oh, y'all can take care of it, we don't care that y'all in the military. Okay, don't say nothing else to us then. um Jeanette says she left her corporate job to take care of her mom. So blessed says she's also a full-time caregiver for her 32-year-old daughter with autism. Yep. Prayers and blessings to all the caregivers. And that's another thing, too, because we have our kids. Some of us have kids that have, what I'm saying, special needs. Like, it's a whole lot that goes into it, that goes into our decisions. But it's crazy how some of us that have the most responsibilities are also the most compassionate and empathetic humans. It's crazy. Alicia says our church has a puppet ministry, and was invited to a nursing home. Those that were able to come, we enjoyed it, and they're remodeling the facility. Your heart goes out to them. You know what? I bet you that was the best thing that ever happened to a lot of them. Just that somebody paid them some attention, because when you go into these nursing homes and these rehab facilities, so many people don't get no visitors at all. It's like you go into a facility and then the family just be like, all right, they there. It's crazy. They appreciate the smallest little things.
Katrina.
Says, Hope says that's awesome, Alicia. Katrina says most of the doctors are money hungry. It's crazy. So blessed we all need this live tonight because we're connecting on so many issues. Thanks again, Driven. God is using you as the vessel for us to feel heard. Oh my gosh. Don't make me cry on here. You're welcome. You are so welcome. I didn't like. I had no idea that we was gonna be all talking about this, but I had no idea that so many people in the community were suffering, either themselves or were caregivers. Um, like even like while my dad was still living, I was like doing things for him. I still felt like I was like on my own. So I mean, and it sucks because it's like you're not glad. You're never glad that someone else is going through the same thing as you, right? Whether it's your health deteriorating, or chronic illness, or an injury, or your parents or your spouse, like, or your children. Like, you never really want someone else to go through what you're going through, but it ends up being comforting when you connect with someone who just so happens to understand, because they are also going through it. So it's like bittersweet, because it's like no one wants somebody else to suffer, but feeling alone and isolated in it is also not a good feeling either. Sedona says my husband's family lives in the same city as we do. His children don't call or come by to check on him. God forbid if anything happens. Don't have your hands out when insurance pays off. Right. Right. No, don't be sorry to feel that way. It is what it is. It is what it is. After my father passed, within a day, maybe 2 days, we were already being asked about his death certificate from family members. Like, what? If you did take out life insurance or whatever on my father at some point in time, you figure out how to get the death certificate on your own. Why in the hell would we help you? Why would we help you? You wasn't helping him. Like, you wasn't helping us. And on top of that, out of all of the cousins in the whole family, all the cousins, my sister and I are the two that never asked any family member for nothing. I've been working since I was 14 years old. She was working since she was like 15 or 16. Never, ever. Everybody else always needed something. We went through school, put ourselves through school, through college. We did it all on our own. There was no handouts, no helps, no none of that. So, like, why in the world would we be trying to get this death certificate and make sure one of y'all had it? That was the weirdest thing. I could not believe it. Everybody was on block. I could not believe it. So it's just crazy how people are, and if you do have an life insurance policy taken out on him or whatever, it ain't like you about to get it and give us anything. So, like, why are you talking to us? We in our 40s, you in your 60s, 70s, 80s. Why are you talking to us like we 12 and 13 years old and you can come get anything from us? Like we stupid. It's crazy. Do that with your own kids. Sandra said, I got a message from my granddaughter. She worked at a nursing home from age 15 to 19 and is now security officer at a major hospital. She just had to escort her ex-resident to the morgue. Oh, I'm sorry.
Jeanette says my daughter.
Want me to see an African American doctor who specializes in our skin type. Yeah. Yeah, that's really hard. My sister is trying to find one now, and that's really hard. It's difficult um, to find like a dermatologist that like works with people like with our skin or with our hair or whatever. Katrina said 70% of men die alone because of the lives they live. Sad. My dad died in another country, no family with him. I agree. Bonnie says, "Oh wow." Oh, she's talking to Sandra. She said it was her last honor to him. He had said he was going to be her first client. She was in college to be a psychologist. Oh, that's awesome. Hope says I was in pain for 10 years before I found a doctor that said it's not in your head. And they always do that. They always, you know what I'm saying, you want to put me on anxiety meds or depression meds or whatever. Like, this is physical. I know exactly what's wrong with you. Fibromyalgia. He said my mom went through the same thing. No one believed her. So blessed said, you already know that's when they will show up. Yep. You are just in the way. Yep. And you are justified in the way that you feel. Yeah. Exactly. And it still said, I'm coming up with ideas for my gifts for Christmas and some in the community. Give gifts to nursing homes besides socks and blankets. I have teddy bears too. Yep. Hillbilly said, yes, it's comforting when you have someone who can relate to you and be a mental support to you. Yes. Katrina says, as a caregiver, this break was much needed no matter how I got here. It's a blessing. And isn't that's another thing too, Katrina? That's another thing too. Because I didn't do it on my own, certain things happened to where I was incapacitated, so now I cannot do. You know, it's really interesting how that works. So it's like we need to learn stricter boundaries, or whatever it is, to where we're not giving so much of ourselves and we don't have our plate too full, because if our plate gets too full, God can, sit us down and be like, okay, yep. Sandra, now she's counseling the family and she's only a sophomore, but she's been in Christ all her life. That is amazing, Sandra.
Alicia says I need to
Do research because each of the elderly has special needs, and I want it to be simple and nice, but also safe, if that makes sense. Yeah. Sandra says some people are so greedy, arrogant, and inconsiderate. Yep. Okay, hey, Kay. Okay, you just in time. We just talking about family and self care, taking care of ourselves before we break down, and dealing with breaking down and realizing that that was our way, or maybe God's way of allowing us to take some time for ourselves and pay attention to ourselves instead of caring for everybody else. I sound low. Maybe I was covering the phone. I don't know. I have it turned all the way up though. Alicia, Sandra says she loves the idea of the puppet ministry. Alicia says, I have four daughters. Two of them are more mature and business driven. I made my beneficiary to my life insurance and retirement. Yep. Real talk. Yep. Charlie is saying, hey, Kay. Hope is saying, especially the military doctors. Ugh. I didn't start getting treatment until I got a civilian doctor. I had to get a referral, a civilian referral. And that took a year and a half. And then even with the civilian referral, it started very slowly before I could actually get like the treatment that's starting to help me feel a little better. Yeah.
Alicia says Sandra.
We have different types of puppets, and we are planning a second play for Christmas. We debuted it on Christmas Day. This year will be, I think, 3 years that we've done it. Okay. Okay, saying hi to Miss Katrina. So blessed. I have no family or friends, so as to keep my peace. It's just my girls and I want others in my life. However, I need support and love instead of others draining me when I have enough on my plate. Hi, Kiki. Ooh, I look like I'm way behind. Sandra says, thank you to Charlie. Let me see. Charlie said boundaries are a must. Bonnie says, who you talking to, Bonnie? Kiki, okay, said, I heard you say he can sit you down, but that's the part we know. And he will do it because we won't do it ourselves. Yep. Hey, Charlie, Kiki said you check your email, Charlie? Oh, you probably already seen that already because I'm behind. Sandra said she'd love to see the puppet ministry. Sadana said, "Hey, Kiana, Aunt Ree." Key says, "Hey, Vonnie." And Kay says, "That's what my respite care is all about." I was just gonna say, Kay, I had seen one night when you were talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, you're so true," but I was so sleepy. You was talking about it, and you was talking about like your vision and everything, and I'm like, "Yes, yes," like I know I feel you, but I was so sleepy, and I ended up falling asleep. But I heard all that you was saying. Well, I didn't hear everything because I fell asleep, but I was like, "Yeah, it's so needed. It's so crazy." And it's out there, and it's crazy too because there's all these government contracts too that people get. It's a hopes that it's a blessing to me to have a big family because our parents, our brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins who have passed away were able to have us as caretakers. Yeah. Candace says, "Hey, Kay." Katrina says, "Kay, and you know we are as nurses are the worst sitting down." Yes, y'all are. Hope says, "I took care of my best friend for 4 years before she passed."
Oof, that's hard.
But I'm glad you had that time with her. Yes, it says, "Hey, Kay. It's hot in Nebraska. I can." Oh, Nebraska gets hot. My father went to school. He graduated from Doane University in Nebraska. I've never been there, and I was supposed to go. Oh, we was it last year or earlier this year? I was supposed to go speak at a suicide loss conference that they had there, but they ended up. Oh, I know. They ended up canceling because of their president. Their president was canceling all the stuff and canceling all the funds. And yeah, so then they ended up losing funds to send us. Let me see. So I said, I truly appreciate all those in the best community because it makes me feel connected to others who enjoy creating, designing gifts. I usually sit in the background on lives, rarely commenting. Well, I'm glad you decided to comment on this now. And there's nothing wrong with sitting in the background. Like, um, it took a while for me to like comment. But I think that I first started, I would always watch YouTube, but different YouTubes, like not the gift basket community. But the first time I think I ever commented on a live was on Felicia's live. That was several years ago. But she had did a live and she was making a basket or something. And she was talking to people and it was just a very calm and serene atmosphere compared to other industries on YouTube, and that was my first time like commenting. And then I finally started like commenting, like under people's videos. But I didn't never used to comment, so I understand like being in the background. I don't mind, and sometimes like you don't want like a lot of attention. You can start commenting, and then people will start talking to you, and sometimes you may not feel like talking. Sometimes you don't feel good, and you want to be a part. You want to hear it, but you don't have the strength to just be going back and forth and whatever. Not that you don't love the people, but sometimes you just don't feel good. So I understand. Jeanette says all I asked my doctor was to give me something for this orgy scan and then set up an appointment to do a walk fit test to see if I get short winded fast. Um,
I understand.
that you want what you need. So I get that. But I also appreciate them doing the walk fit test. It would be nice if they would have gave you what you need and then also did that because then that can lead to other treatment for you. But it is very frustrating when you go to the doctor or when you ask the doctor for something and you know it's what you need and they want to take the long route to get, what I'm saying, all the way back to what the heck you need. That is frustrating. Hope says sometimes the Lord sits us down to show us that life goes on and those who needed us for everything found a way to get what they need. Yep. So they truly didn't need us as much as we thought. So slow down. Yeah, and preserve ourselves. Yep. I agree, Hope. And it can be frustrating too to watch it and see it, right? Because then you can get to that thought process of like, okay, so you just used me, right? Now that it's just not available to you and nobody else is gonna do what I did, now all of a sudden, what I'm saying, you can walk or you can, whatever. Yeah. So Blessed said, Charlie, still need your full email address. Thanks. Kay said, left work at 7, ain't stopped moving yet, jumped out the car, cut the grass, taking out the trash, and now eating dinner. What you eating for dinner? That was the most important part in the sentence because you already left work at 7. So the next thing should have been you got home and you got to eating. I mean, maybe you probably feel a sense of satisfaction because you mowed the lawn and you took out the trash. Speaking of taking out trash, babe, today's Sunday. So make sure all the trash is out. Um, yeah, what you eating? Okay, Anita said was rewatching the Bassett Designer show. It looked exciting. We'll watch the rest later. Kiana said, "Hi, Aunt Jeanette." Kay said, "Oh, I had to get groceries too." Oh yeah, you've been busy, busy. I need that kind of energy again. Kiana said, "Hi, so blessed." And Hope said, "So blessed. I'm so happy that you feel like this is a safe place to come at." And Hope says, "Hey, Kiki." And Jeanette Nessa says, "Try an oatmeal bath. It may help." Uh, what kind of cream? Creve cream works too. What's that? Creve cream. Be sure to continue advocating for yourself. Kiki said. Sandra said, "I talk to veterans and veteran caregivers Monday through Friday. I always show them compassion and respect, even if they just want to talk." Sandra, where you work? That's what's up. I could do that. I've been trying to think about what I'm gonna do after 911, after the military at 911, I should say. Kay said, "I met a husband today who needs help. His wife is in mid stages of dementia, and he doesn't want to put her in a home. He's supposed to call so I can get him some help for her." Yeah, it's rough. He's a vet also. Okay. Yeah, Friday I had to go to a class for all of the transitional assistance program class, but it was for all of us that are still in active duty, that are getting medically retired or medically separated, and they were talking to us about resources and stuff like that, and talking to us about jobs and what we want to do afterwards. And I was like, after I finish with 911, I would love to do a job where I could be at home and I just connect people to resources that will actually help them. Oh, Jeanette said, "Hey, Kiana, love the award show today." Kay said she had beef stroganoff. You made that? You made the beef stroganoff? Or you got it from somewhere? Hope said a lot of the times the insurance companies make the doctors go through all of that to get to what you need. It's crazy.
Katrina said, sit down, Kay.
Sit down, sis. Vonnie is cheering you on like, come on, Kay. Kiki said, "Hi, Anita." Sandra said, "Hi, Kiana." Kay said, "It's cool. It's cool out. I try to cut while the sun is gone." Oh, y'all got cool air too right now. Join the walk and yoga in the morning and you'll get energy. Who? Who's that, Kay? I'm talking about not the autoimmune folks. Hope said, "Y'all, I was so choked up on the show." I know. It's crazy because I'm just trying to navigate and make sure everybody can see and try to comment with the comments. So that's what kept me busy. So I didn't even have to feel that way. I didn't have to let myself go. But I saw you. I was like, ooh. They said I was surprised you were Hope Miss Talkative. Hope still she still got her softy. She got her softy in there always. That's always there. She just keep it tucked in. Kiana said, "You may need to satchel driven. I may need to satchel driven. What?" Sandra said, "A government contractor via. Yeah, we definitely need to hook up, Sandra. We definitely need to hook up.
Cause it's crazy. That's
That's
all
all
I've
I've done through both my 911 and military career is like advocate for others and try to hook people up with resources. It's only these last few years that I got sick myself and had to start trying to figure out who gonna advocate for me and who gonna help me with the resources that I have been like disconnected from being able to help so many others. But it's still there, obviously. My career field, you can see I'm always like a helper. Kay said it happens. So Anita said, "Hey, Kiana." So blessed said, "Hope just watched your short with the ugly chicken graduation hat before coming to this live." Oh, I ain't seen that. Man, I need to catch up on everybody videos. Y'all, I be watching comedy. I be watching comedy. I be doing watching like Bible studies. I ain't been like on a whole lot of videos like in the gift basket community much. Like I go on Classy's live, so I gotta stretch myself a little bit more. But I took like a break and yeah. And then I've been dealing a lot with like all the paperwork and stuff for the military. But I'm behind in a lot of videos and a lot of lives. Kay said congratulations to the nominees and the winners. Hope said I'm talkative, but I'm also sensitive and humble. Me too. This is much talking as I'm gonna do. I type way faster. Kiana said that's so true, Hope. Oh, Grace, so where you at? Kay said where are you? Like what state or city? Katrina said I want something remote too. Work from home. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Um, and it's crazy too because certain conditions, whether it's your heart or your brain or like your immune system, right? There's a lot of us dealing with immune issues. Um, Being in different types of weather, are triggers for flares. Exerting more energy than what our body may be able to handle at a time. Our triggers. And if you get in a car and you driving to work, you know what I'm saying? Like all, and then you work, all of that is time and energy, you know what I'm saying? And stress on our bodies. Not that everybody got to sit at home and be sedentary, but sometimes I think it calls for it, especially you don't work for so long, all these years. I'm 48. I've been working since I was 14. Like, and I'm only 48. It's like eventually you got to make some choices. If I had a clean bill of health, which is what I thought beforehand, then maybe things would be a little bit different. But I have to put everything into perspective. Like, who would have thought that the sun and that heat can affect your body in the way that it does? Like, I love the sun, the heat. I love the ocean. I love the waves. I love getting in that water. I love all of that. And now, you know what I'm saying, I have to do it in moderation, if at all, which is interesting. It just so happens I live somewhere where I'm not doing that now, currently. But yeah, that's crazy. Kay said I'm sitting down now, but I have to shower. Anita said I feel so left out as if I was the only one that wasn't at the award show. Oh no, 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 Miss Anita. There were several people that were not at the award show. There were recipients that were unable to be at the award show. Some people didn't even know until today that there was an award show. Please don't feel that way. There were a lot of people there, but there were a lot of people that were not there. So it would have been nice to have everybody, but with everyone's time and schedules, jobs and family, like there's no way for everyone to, be present. I think that I think it should be, like quarterly we do something. And it doesn't always have to be like, awards, you know, um, but whatever it is, little things that we do in a community, I think that, we should do things kind of quarterly or monthly or, check in with different people that are doing things that can bring us together for just a night of fun. And it's not always about, the hustle and bustle because we need that too. But you were definitely not the only one that wasn't there. There were several people. And there were several people that, you know what I'm saying, hadn't been around for, a while. Or I won't say hadn't been around. They've been minding their own business that pays them and family and, taking care of themselves or whatever. And it was nice to see, them on too. So Definitely don't feel bad. Some people were on the Zoom. I kept trying to switch back and forth the screens, but and then some people were on YouTube, and it wasn't like I didn't know until last night that I was going to try to live stream the Zoom. That like literally came up right there in Still Classy's live yesterday, and I was already tired, so I didn't have any time to try to figure out, all of the logistics of it last night. And then my body was tired today. Like I slept a long time today, so I'm just glad I was able to bring it because it was rough. Then we had a spider incident. I had a spider incident right before, so that was rough. I had to take a shower and try to chill out, and then come back and make sure I could get on live. Uh, Kiana said we'll watch them walk and yoga. In fact, we'll instruct. Yeah, yeah. Hope said, "Okay, I'll watch you walk while I eat the yogurt." I'll eat my little snacks. Kay said, "Katrina, are you about to be a nursing manager? United always hiring for that. United is always hiring for that. Okay." Alicia said, "All right, everyone, going to bed. Got to get up at 4 a.m. Woo! Love y'all. Congratulations to everyone. Job well done. Driven an entire team. Sprinkles. Bye, Miss Alicia." Jeanette said, "Nessa, I done doused in so much Aveeno oatmeal bath and Eucerin cream. It's not funny. But I mixed some liquid camphor. Oh, camphor fenique. I remember that. And pure coconut oil. And it's really working. Okay." Ken says, "Sat your arse down for a while after you are done so you can actually breathe." Katrina said, "I'm not, but I have my MSN, so it may be an option." Okay. Sadana said, "Kay is exactly right. It took 4 months for me to get approved for MRI of my foot just to find out that I had a torn muscle in my foot." Right. Lonnie said, "Okay, Alicia, thanks for joining the live." S. Marie said, "Comedy on YouTube. Recommendation Ali Sadiq. Oh, yeah, he's funny. He's funny. I watched him. I've watched him. I watched Josh Johnson a lot. I like him because he's also empathetic, but he's also funny and kind of stays abreast of everything that's going on locally, so he can just laugh at the crap Trump tries to pull." Kiana said, "Hey, Alicia, good night." So blessed said, "Me too." Anita said, "So blessed, me too." What else? Hope said she called 911 in California. They put me on hold. Were you in Los Angeles, Hope? Los Angeles City of Los Angeles County, on the freeway, or San Diego County, San Bernardino County, up north? Because I in the city of Los Angeles, and we have to answer those phones within 2 minutes or less. Now, there's like 500 dispatchers. I'm taking like 250 calls a night, so there are times that it gets backed up and people have to wait. But um, when this creation said, "Hey y'all, hi Anita, Driven has a show on her channel. She live streamed it." Okay, let me see. Hope says, "So true, Driven. My body don't hurt as much as it did when I was in Virginia." Yeah, yes. Because, I mean, with these little weather changes and everything, it's crazy. And then it's like, what do I do? I call in and be like, "My foot won't move. My joints are stiff." Like, it's crazy. Sandra said, "We work from home, training as well. I'm biased with my vets because I'm one." Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We definitely got to hook up offline. Thank you, Angie. Katrina said, "That part. Worked since I was 14, now 60. I'm tired. Yes, you deserve. It's like if we can't not be working, then we need to find something that works for us. And specifically something that is enjoyable and that brings joy, to us. Like, for me, there's nothing like the feeling of knowing that I helped somebody and I made just that much of their life or their situation or their progress better because of whatever it was that I did or said or whatever. Like, I don't know, that's like invaluable to me. So there's a way that I can do that and I don't have to, kill myself for doing it. Then it doesn't feel so much like work, and I can still take care of me. Kiana said, yes, the sun, the heat, the cold, all of it will put us in a pain crisis. Sheesh, yep. Jeanette says, Mary, I love Ali Sadiq. He's so funny, especially when he's talking about his son. El Bowie, that's a good idea to get the best community together more often. Katrina, I just stumbled on it. Katrina said, I just stumbled on it. Yes, Marie said, yes, Jeanette, he's coming here next month. My daughters are taking me. Oh, that's awesome. You get to go in live. Hope said, Anita, we know that if you could have been there, you would have. Yes. And then, too, I forgot another thing that's big, too, right, with getting people together. The time zones, right? Because everybody's on different time zones. Like, right now, it's 10 o'clock, 10:30 on the East Coast. If it was 10:30 in California, I would be at work, 911. So, like, I'll be working there from 10 at night to 6:30 in the morning. So it would be really different, you know what I'm saying, having access different different, live streams and stuff like that. So I think that's another thing like to put in consideration when we do get together, like the time change and making sure that people know, because you won't be able to please everybody at one time, but it is nice for if people know stuff well in advance, they can kind of plan for it if they choose. Kiana says she's Spider Mom, so she had to ensure her babies were okay. No, it was a disaster. My baby killed it, but it was a disaster. Whew. Hope said, good night, y'all. I'm about to eat my last snack of the night while I talk to my bestie. Okay, tell Miss Lillian I said good night, too. S. Marie said, great night, Hope. Hillbilly said, have a good night, everyone. Thanks so much for the chat, Driven. Much appreciated. You're welcome. I am about to start going and closing stuff down. Kiana said, great night. Esme said, great night, El Bowie. Kiana said, have a good night. El Bowie and Hope. Katrina says, physical therapy in the morning. So I'm turning in. It was great to see you all. Love and blessings. Good night, Jordan. I love you. I love you too. It was great seeing you too. And we are all glad that you are okay. Bonnie says, good night, Hope. Good night, Katrina. As Marie said, Kiana said, good night, Katrina. As Marie said, great night, Katrina. Anita said, very informative live. I'm about to see y'all later. Y'all take care of yourselves. Bye, Miss Anita. Hope said, love you, Katrina. Marie said, good night, Miss Anita. Kiana said, good night. Jana said, good night, everyone. Prayers and blessings. Good night. Good night, Miss Jana. All right. Miss Jeanette said, good night. Oh, I'm going to charge this phone, figure out how to sleep on this roller set. Oh. Bonnie says, good night. All right, y'all. Good night. Look at everybody. We all on the same accord. All right. Thank y'all. Good night, Kay. Good night, Classy. Good night, Shirley. Good night, Esmery. Thank y'all for helping me moderate. Good night, Miss Lillian. What snack you gonna have? You and Hope finna get on the line. All right, love y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live now. Hope you guys have a great week. All right, bye bye. Oh, thanks, Sandra. We gotta hook up. You have a blessed night too.